good to meet you. It's Brian.
Brian, yes.
And
Reisha.
Reisha.
Yes.
Wow, what a beautiful couple you are. Just feeling you too.
Thank you.
So I'm curious, like we've been talking about before we began, the transformations that you've both experienced. And I'm also really just fascinated by the concept of the beloved union, this kind of divine union soul contract, and how working with the TwinRay has inspired your union and deepened it, or what you might want to share in that way, because I know so many people are longing for this in their lives deeply.
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
Well, what's interesting is that we actually met about a year before we first met the Beloveds, or first met Sanandaji. And so we felt like we were a twin flame. And so after we saw them and knew that they were our teachers and we wanted to work with them, one of the things we did is when we first started working, we said, are we actually a twin flame? You know, can you tell us that? And they said, they looked at the chart and and they're up here in the Akashic, and they're like, oh yes, you are a twin flame. You are the highest, not highest level, but like your charts are exactly opposite from each other.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, that's we knew, but we were like, it was so nice to have that confirmation. So
You probably felt it in your hearts in some way.
Yes.
It just like amplified that.
yes, because we knew each other when we met.
Yeah, we recognized each
yeah.
other right away.
Yeah.
That's a long story, but it was really aligned for us to come together. And to answer part of your question about what are all the shifts and changes, there are so many, but I would have to say for me, it was the heart. When we first started having ascendantship calls with them years ago, I would spend about 10 minutes at the beginning of the call just crying because I recognized them. I'd been looking for, I knew my true teachers were out there, and it just took me 26 years to find them. And I remember when I saw Sananda for the first time, I recognized him. And then when Sanandaji and Shekinah Ma came together, I was in such gratitude and happiness and honoring that I'm home. I just kept feeling that. So just working with them, the layers of the heart just started peeling away, the resistances, the inner child, all of those things. And a lot of the healing and shift has come from observation of both of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
being in their field, feeling it's almost like the 4-minute mile. When you see that's possible,
Yes,
it
exactly.
like
Yes.
activates something in your spirit.
That's one of the first things, yes, when we saw them together and we knew they were our teachers, we also knew it's like they're a divine couple and we want to learn how to be in relationship that way.
Yeah.
And so like Brian said, we just have observed, and they've worked with us on different things going on in our fields that needed balancing, clearing, so that we could come together in greater and higher unconditional love and integrity. So that's been a huge, huge gift.
It's a huge gift. And what I love about, just two things, what I love about Mother Shekinah is her softness and her lovingness, but her fierceness. Like she just cuts right
Yes.
through it, and it's like, okay, I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And it's cleared. And the other thing is observing them in anybody who's ever been in a retreat, it just melts your heart after like the satsang is finished, how sweet they are together and how loving they are. And it's just, it really has taught me how to be a much better partner and a better man, and not only to my beloved, but to people in my life.
Beautiful.
And be respectful and loving and kind and responsive and
Yeah, I really feel the heart presence and just the depth of the work that you've both done. It's beautiful to witness. Is there anything, I know as a couple it's really been this supportive activation. What about individually in your own inner spiritual transformation? Is there anything else you would want to share at all from where you were before to where you are now? I know you spoke about inner child. Are there specific wounds that have been completely touched and opened up and healed that you never knew it were possible, or?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my work in this lifetime has been with my father, and that's been an ongoing. You think you get to a point. I thought where I got to a point where I've cleared that, and then there's another layer, another layer. I feel of any of the work that I've done with the Beloveds, and internally, it's been helping me to really transcend through the programs they've offered, but also the ceremonies that we've been in. I can't even imagine where I'd be without them and working through that, the family dynamics, the karmas, the relationship with my father. So that's been just
Powerful.
very powerful and just a miracle, really.
Beautiful to witness. What about you? Is there anything else you would add?
Oh gosh, I again the heart opening, and I just feel like I've really learned how to slow down. I've gone through my life very quickly. It feels like, and when I started, when I came into the community and came and started working with them, I just felt, I noticed that, and it's just brought me to a place of much more presence being with them and working with them, and heart opening and deepening, and just how to really be that unconditional love with a partner. I mean, I can do it with my children, you know, but with a partner, it's harder.
Right.
And so, especially when you're reflecting things to each other all
Your
the time.
mirror is
Right.
always right there.
Yeah, so, you know, it's just like, wait, no, that's not me. No, that's
Right, the sacred mirror.
So exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Beautiful.
that's always a challenge in relationships, especially at the level where you're really so deeply on your path, the way we are with beloved Shekinah Ma and Sanandaji. So it's just shown me a lot of things about myself that I was really happy to see and transform.
That
And
presence is everything.
The presence
when
is
you
everything.
Get there.
Presence and
Yeah.
the surrender, and to
Surrender,
not fight it.
yes.
Just let the ego.
Yes.
I've been hearing
yeah.
how you two are pillars in this community, and maybe you could say one more thing before we complete, just about the role of satsang and community, and how that's also a big part of the spiritual path in the TwinRay community.
Definitely, absolutely. We met the Beloveds right after they got together, had their sacred marriage, and we were talking to them about this community they were going to build. That was 5 years ago. And so we always knew that we said, oh yes, we're going wherever you're going, and we want to be part of that.
Wow.
And that's one of our missions. That's it. You know, we're there. And so we've just been part of watching everything just manifest, and all the magic, and we are so grateful and so happy. We moved up from Southern California after they did, and they got here, and we're like, okay, we're coming. And so we're here now,
Love
living.
and serve.
And yes, exactly. And so happy to be here with all of our beautiful, beloved family who's been gathering over the years. And
I think it's
so honored
sorry.
and excited, happy.
Beautiful.
I think it's so important, as we know, and the Beloveds have spoken about, as community is everything in this lifetime and on this path.
Yeah.
And so, very grateful for
Yeah,
everybody.
we're not meant to do it alone anymore. It's not like a
No,
solo.
no. We have to do it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So good to meet you too.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you for
so much.
sharing. So
Yes,
beautiful.
thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you for
Thank
having
you
us.
so much.
Thank
Thank you.